What is up, everybody? This is Jake from Iowa, breaking down the Minnesota Vikings 31st overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, and that is cornerback Jeff Gladney. Little background on Jeff Gladney. Played for TCU, Go Horned Frogs, over there in Fort Worth, Texas. Jeff is from New Boston, Texas. Came out as a redshirt senior. Senior year offered his greatest year after redshirting his freshman year. Senior year, he started all 12 games, 24 solo tackles, 7 assisted tackles with a total of 31 tackles, and 1.5 tackles per loss. And he did also have an interception. Previous year in 2018, he had 41 total tackles with 4 tackles for loss and 2 interceptions. And 2017 only played 9 games, 28 tackles, 2 interceptions. Like I say, he did redshirt his freshman year, started in 2016, ended the career in 2019 as a redshirt senior. When we look at the athletic ability of Jeff Gladney, first thing that sticks out to me is he plays bigger than he is. His height's only at 5'10". If you look at his spider chart here, that's in the 23 percentile, not the greatest. Coming in at 191, pretty decent weight. Arm length of 31 1/8, which that is pretty good. As you can see, beating out over half the cornerbacks in the NFL Combine. Hand size, not really important for a cornerback. The 40-yard dash with a 4.48. Now this is interesting that I will bring up later in the video. Jeff Gladney was pretty much not desired as a recruit coming out of New Boston, Texas. However, in one of the camps he went to, he ran a 4.34. But then he tore his ACL his senior season. So 4.48, still NFL speed, definitely not too slow. Pretty satisfied with that. Good vertical of 37.5 inches with a good broad jump of 124 inches. Really shows explosiveness and athleticism there. Really low on the 3-cone and 17 reps on the bench, which, let's be honest, does not really matter that much for a cornerback. So when I watched film on Jeff, the first thing that sticks out is, man, this guy is confident. He definitely shows when he was at TCU his senior year. This ain't his first rodeo. Very competitive, really nasty. Doesn't want the receiver to get anything for free. Also really good in the press. Uses them longer arms for his body. You can see his strength. He definitely does really well in the press. And when he's doing his footwork, when he's covering receivers, his feet are always underneath him. He's never straining. He's never out of position athletically. And really shows that, that this guy has been in college for 5 years. He's really, you can tell, made it a point to take his technique and bring it up every single year. And that's a good trait for any position, but especially cornerback. Because in the NFL, if you have poor technique, it does not take much for an NFL receiver to get by you and get easy completions. I really like the footwork, the press skills, and the competitiveness of Jeff Gladney. In addition, that arm length, for being longer than his body, should help him when going against slightly taller receivers. As I mentioned earlier, some negatives that probably hurt Jeff is he did tear his ACL his senior year of high school. That definitely hurt his recruiting. He was only a 3-star recruit coming into TCU. He had meniscus issues with TCU last season. And one thing I have noticed, bigger-bodied receivers, when Jeff is off the ball, he's not pressed up. When they're getting into the kind of the later stages of the route, he can get bodied a little bit once some bigger receivers get momentum going into Jeff Gladney. Overall, though, I think Jeff is a solid choice for the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, competitiveness and confidence for a corner, those are two things you gotta have in the National Football League. And his height is a little on the low side, but his arm length makes up for it. He's got adequate speed, and he has really good footwork and ball skills. I really like Jeff. I give this pick an A, and the Vikings were able to trade back and get some more draft capital, which is a little bit of sugar on top. As I said, like Jeff, A pick. I think he's going to probably be in the mix to be a starter for the Vikings, probably week 1 out of necessity. As we all know, we've lost Xavier Rhodes. We've also lost Trey Waynes. Mike Hughes is now the oldest guy in the room, and he's really only got about a year and a half of true experience with all of his injuries. This Minnesota Vikings cornerback room could very well make or break the Vikings year next year. Anyway, that's all I got. This is my second video. Give me some feedback if you do not mind. This is Jake from Iowa, and I will catch you guys next time.